I'm sick of losing. When am I going to catch a break? It feels like I just can't win. This isn't fair. These are just a few of the problems that poker players bring to me on an almost daily basis. And being a poker player can feel very challenging. It can feel very heavy. And it can feel like no matter what you do, you just can't get your head above water. You're constantly splashing around, trying to get a good winning session in. And sometimes it feels like it's helpless. And it feels like, why does poker have to be so hard? Anyone who's played poker professionally for any period of time will relate to that in some way. They'll relate to this struggle, this challenge of things aren't going my way and I don't know what to do about it. Today, I want to share with you an exercise that I did with one of my one-on-one clients who was struggling with the exact same problem, which he found incredibly helpful. Alright, so the exercise goes as follows. I want you to imagine yourself 12 months in the future. 12 months in the future, and everything has worked out as you planned. You've achieved your goals, you're in the financial situation you want, you've got the life circumstances that you would want. Alright, so where you are now, the goals you're trying to achieve, tick, 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 they've all been achieved. Alright, put yourself into that state for a moment or two. How does it feel? Does it feel more relaxed? Do you feel happy? Do you feel fulfilled? Most players will feel a sense of relief, a sense of enjoyment, a sense of pride, a sense of yes, I've done it. Alright, so think of that feeling that you're going to have a year from now. Now let's come back to the present day moment. Alright, and I tell you, I've got a crystal ball, and that vision of the future, 12 months from now, is going to come true. It's going to happen. It's guaranteed. It's going to happen. How would you feel about your current problems? How would you feel about having a losing session today? How would you feel about going on a downswing this month? Most players would relate to it and go, well, if I knew I was going to have success in a year, it wouldn't bother me as much. I'd be okay with it. I'd be able to handle it much better because I know in a year from now, I'll be able to have my goals. What was funny when I did this with the player on my coaching call, his first inkling or his first feeling that he had was, why can't I achieve my goals in 3 months? A year is a long time to wait. So some of us, even if you could get the outcome you wanted to, you feel impatient. You feel like you want to get there. But most players would realize that, okay, if I could get to the goals I wanted to in a year, I'll be happy. I can handle anything that happens in the short term. Alright, now what would happen if I said, in the next 12 months, anything can happen. I've got no guarantee what's going to happen in the next 12 months. All I know is you're going to end up where you want to. Alright, you may go on the biggest downswing of your life, you may lose it all, everything may crumble for months and months on end, but it's going to work out. How do you feel now? You're going to feel like, it's a little bit scary, a little bit unknown, but you still feel a sense of confidence because I've given you certainty at the end. I've given you a sense of things are going to work out in the long term. Alright, now, most of your problems are coming from the fact that in the short term, you're having high expectations, you're putting high pressure on yourself, and you're not having faith that the long term is going to work out. Alright, so what I challenge you to do, what I challenge all poker players to do that I work with, is to envision the end result that you want. Alright, the end result, the end outcome, the end person you need to be. Then come back to your daily problems, and rather than focusing on the day-to-day, rather than focusing on what's happening, all the swings, all the variance day-to-day, focus on the steps that you're taking, the process of moving towards this outcome a year from now. Alright, so if you could take off the pressure in the short term, the need to get results, the need to make money, the need to all these short-term things, if you could just remove all that, if you just create faith and confidence that you're moving towards the outcome, and in 12 months or 2 years even, however long it takes, you will be where you need to be. Not blind faith, not in the terms of like, I'm just going to delusionally think I'm going to be there, but you're going to show up daily and go, okay, I'm just going to execute the best I can today, knowing that I'm on the path to my goals. And when I did this with a player, he said to me, if I could just execute every day, if I could just show up with the right attitude and play good poker, I'm almost guaranteed I'll be where I need to be in a year from now. Almost guaranteed. That's a high sense of confidence, alright? And most times we forget that who cares what happens today? Who cares if you have a bad month? I don't really think many players are overly concerned with how the short term goes. In all honesty, I think if I could tell you at the end it's going to work out well, you'd be happy with that. All right. So what you need to do is create this vision of the long term. Remind yourself it's all a process. In the short term, anything goes. Smile at it. When you're on a downswing, go, huh, awesome, even bigger downswing, more lessons to learn, more growth opportunities, and just take off all pressure in the short term, and then focus all your efforts on how you're showing up. Your attitude, your decision making, your focus, your thoughts. All of those things are in your control. If you focus on those and take away all the noise, all of the things I mentioned before become irrelevant. I'm sick of losing. Who cares if you're having a few losing sessions, a few losing weeks? That's too short term. If you're on track long term, forget all that. When am I going to catch a break? You're going to catch a break in the next 12 months. Be patient. Don't over worry about it. It feels like I just can't win. Maybe you can't win today, tomorrow, this week, this month, but keep at it. There'll be a process where you'll turn the corner and have all the success you need. It feels unfair. This isn't fair. Poker isn't fair. It's not going to feel fair, and there's going to be times where you get overly compensated, where you go on massive heaters, which are way above your normal win rate. You go on massive runs where you just get absolutely screwed. You lose EV, you lose money, and everything feels like it's an uphill battle. But you've got to remind yourself the long term. All right, so poker doesn't have to be so difficult. If you can lower short-term expectations, think of where you want to be a year from now, and double down on the process. And every day is just a step towards that long-term vision. If you can do that, most of your problems will start to melt away. Alright guys, if you want to start leveling up your poker skills, I put together a free PDF for you guys in the comments below, in the description below. You guys can download that, and it will teach you the 8 skills you need for elite poker performance. Today's skill goes under the umbrella of self-awareness and creating an identity that is in alignment with your future visions, and also emotional regulation and not allowing negative emotions to come up, which are the first 2 skills in the PDF that you get access to. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that thumbs up button before you go, and there's plenty more coming from me very soon.